Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and this is Harley Quinn, Season 1, Episode 1, Till Death Do Us Part. Welcome, everybody. DC Universe decided to do an animated R-rated Harley Quinn uh, show with Kaylee Cuoco as the voice of Harley Quinn, and this is the result of this. So before I get into it a little bit, let me take care of some business. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on next, you can hit the bell. You get a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you when I'm going to be on next. Excuse me. If you really want to know when I'm beyond, just go to suspendedfanimation.com. My schedule is up there. It's also mirrored over my Facebook page as well. And speaking of Facebook pages, there is a Facebook group page which you guys can sign up for, and you can post some stuff, talk amongst yourselves, all that kind of good stuff. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I also have a Patreon page. I don't have any tiers set up as of yet, but I will by the end of this year, beginning of next year. So, with that said, I'm not going to go over a recap on this one, just because it's more of a take on this one, I think, than anything else. There's no really kind of beats to this. It's more sitcomish, but we'll get to it in just a second. So, spoiler alert: I am going to spoil the show of the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comments section. Thank you again, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. So, this is there's actually a lot of good voice actors in this too, which is really kind of fun. Um, the majority of this episode, and I think, and I'll get into what the series is going to be about and all that too, is Harley Quinn just being in denial that the Joker doesn't love her, and Poison Ivy is trying to tell her this. She gets arrested very early on and spends a year in Arkham Asylum because she thinks that Joker is going to break her out, and Poison Ivy is trying to tell her, he doesn't love you, and she, of course, was a really good psychologist and helped Poison Ivy out. That's why Poison Ivy is trying to help her out now and saying, "You know what? You should psychoanalyze yourself now at this point because you were that much of a genius. You could figure this out for yourself." And finally, she does, start talking to herself in a way and works things out. And it's not until Poison Ivy actually sets something up to basically with the Riddler, because Poison Ivy breaks them all out of Arkham Asylum at one point after a year of being in prison, and uh, the Riddler sets up this thing where he captures both Batman and Batman and Harley, calls up Joker to come over and says, "Okay, I'm going to drop them both in acid. I've got them over a pit of acid, but you get to save one and kill the other." Is what Riddler tells Joker. And so, what does Riddler do, or what does Joker do? He saves Batman, of course, and tells Riddler to, as he says, drop the broad into acid. And Christopher Maloney is actually voicing Commissioner Gordon, is who he's voicing. So yeah, Christopher Maloney's voicing Commissioner Gordon. Alan Tudyk is voicing both Joker and Calendar Man. Diedrich Bader is voicing Batman, of course, and yeah, and Lake Bell is doing Poison Ivy. She's voicing Poison Ivy. A really good voice cast, like I said, and it got to the point where I was actually thinking, Alan Tudyk could really actually play a live action Joker fairly easily, and uh, he'd be really, really good at it, I think. And yeah, the Commissioner Gordon was really messed up. I agree with you, Penn. It was funny though at the same time, just the way he was. There are f bombs all over the place. There are so much gore that happens in this too, that it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty funny. It was good, and the whole premise of the series is that she finally, the first episode, she kind of breaks out of Mr. J's spell, if you will, and realizes that she needs to, strike fear into Gotham so that whenever they hear her name, it's not just the Joker's girlfriend, it's Harley Quinn, and she wants to actually have people piss themselves, as she says, when they hear her name. And so she ends up, having a new look, which is pretty much this look that's behind me here, and trashes his place and tells him that she's going to let him live to see her become this supervillain. And that's what her whole thing is she wants to get into the Legion of Doom because Joker kind of laughed at her getting into the Legion of Doom about, all of that. And yeah, the Commissioner Gordon as this unkempt, just at his wits' end and just sloshing coffee around. At one point, he's turning on the bat signal, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. And Batman shows up and goes, "What? I wasn't playing with it," which I thought was really funny. There were some good moments in it. There really were. And yes, there are F bombs dropped all over the place. There is very it's not for kids at all. It really is not for kids. You've got people being knifed. You've got Joker, who, of course, being the chaotic force of nature that he is, just stabbing people. One of his own guys at random in the throat with a pool cue, just because. Um, yeah, and I love the other line that made me laugh was Joker's asking one of his henchmen, "Who's funnier than I am?" And the guy says, "Harley." And all of a sudden, bang, bang, he shoots the guy in the chest like 3 times, and the guy's in the ground goes, "No, Harley." And he's pointing up. Harley had been behind Joker, and that's he was questioning why Harley was there. It wasn't the answer to the question, which was pretty damn dark at that time. So, yeah, is it good? It's actually it's gonna be a little bit of fun, I think. It really is. Uh, yes, is it gimmicky? Sure it is, but at the same time, a lot of us have always thought, when you read these comics for so long, Joker being this maniacal madman who kills people, a homicidal maniac, he's gotta get gruesome at some points in time, and the comics, because 'cause they're supposed to be made for kids and stuff like that, really don't show that. This is kind of the opposite side where you're actually getting to see this gore. There's a lot more swearing in it than I thought there was gonna be, but I mean, like, every other word's, an F-bomb in this. Um, but yeah, it was interesting, I have to admit, and, I give this one an 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10, actually, fairly easily, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And yeah, Alan Tudyk, uh, Calendar Man even was pretty funny. He was doing the voice for Calendar Man, and I'm looking forward to her getting her crew together because she's gonna get a crew together at this point. And yeah, see, exactly, Penn says, "I think it was pretty good. I need to rewatch it." I agree with you. It's fun. It really is a lot of fun. I didn't take any notes on it this time around. I just kinda watched it and let it happen, and, that's why I'm not doing a, recap of it either. You can't remember your kid's birthday, I know. But you can remember when, when Porn Clown is, when she was incarcerated. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, Calendar Man's wife calling her Porn Clown, and then the cops just going ballistic because the kid brought him in a cactus 'cause, can't have a plant within 50 feet of ivy, poison ivy, and then how poison ivy breaks him out of prison is that, the Riddler ate an orange and then shit out a seed, and she used the orange seed in order to break them out. Oh, yeah. And yeah, you can totally tell that Ivy's got a thing for Harley, and Harley's completely oblivious to it. So yeah, it's we're gonna see that coming on down the line too. It's gonna be fairly interesting. They set up quite a few things in just this half hour episode, which I thought was good. And Kaylee's voice doesn't come through as her normal voice only a couple of times when she's playing, Harleen Quinzel. That's about the only time you actually hear her natural tone of speaking coming through. Otherwise, she sounds quite a bit like Harley. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. It is kind of worth, it's short enough where you can rewatch it and, still get some stuff out of it. There was a lot of stuff packed into it, sight gags too, all that kind of stuff. And I'm glad that Diedrich Bader is coming back as Batman. I loved him in Brave and the Bold, and to see him do a more stoic take on Batman this time around would be kind of nice. And he's going to be back, every now and then. And I love her saying, this guy fucks bats. I don't fuck bats. uh, yeah, Penn says I wasn't sure she was good casting, but I totally forgot she was voicing Harley. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you really don't realize it until she does the Harleen Quinzel. That's when she actually her voice comes through. And Lake Bell, I mean, I thought that was interesting too. That was interesting casting. Some of the cast members that they have, I actually called up the IMDb here, and Jason Alexander is going to be in this as Cy Borgman. He's the guy with the dude with the big head. Also, an iZombie alumni, Raul Coley, is going to be playing Scarecrow, which I thought was kind of interesting. So he's going to be coming back as Scarecrow. Who else do we have? Ron Funches is playing King Shark, which is going to be interesting because he has kind of uh, how should we say, it's kind of a more effeminate take on his voice when he does this. So it's going to be interesting hearing King Shark like that. I'm wondering how that's going to come about. Oh, and Frank the Plant. How could I forget about Frank the Plant? Uh, JB Smoove as Frank the Plant, which I thought was pretty damn funny. With the, you've got problems. You try being stuck in a park for 5 years. Have you ever had a Saint Bernard shit in your face? Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to more of this as well. Yeah, Frank was pretty damn funny. I have to admit, for a plant. And, Harley or Poison Ivy also talking about how she was pissed off at the neighbor kid that she had paid him to water the plants while she was gone at Arkham. And Frank's like, well, he quit after a week. And she goes, well, that's kind of unprofessional of him. And then you see him kind of spit out the kid's body out of the plant orifice, and then oh, come on. She goes, Frank, don't you think his parents are going to come looking for him? Not likely. And he spits out the parents too. I mean, there was just some really weird shit in it that was also funny too. Joker wearing some rich dude's face as a puppet. Um, yeah, and then the old rich dude's, barfing because he was using their friend's face as a puppet and all that. I mean, there was some gruesome stuff in there. Where's the drum roll, please? There wasn't any drum roll. Doesn't need to be. It was fast and furious the way it needs to be. They did a good job. They did a good job on the pacing too. Yeah, you could have really overdone some of the comedy in it, and they actually paced it just right. So they actually did the comedic timing. I've seen it before where you overstep and you don't allow the jokes to breathe and whatnot. This one allowed the jokes to breathe just enough. And yeah, you don't need Batman. It's not a Batman story. It's Harley Quinn's story. So having Batman show up every now and then just to fuck things up or arrest somebody or something like that. Yeah. And yes, Diedrich Bader is a much better Batman than Ian Glenn. Yes. And I've told Diedrich Bader in person how much I appreciated his Batman. I saw him on the floor at Comic Con one year, and I was walking right behind him, and I had to tap him on the shoulder and tell him because I just told him it was a lot of fun. And he's just a nice guy. I mean, he really is. He's a big guy too. He's a really big guy, but he's a really nice guy. He's tall. He's like 6'4", something like that, 6'5". You know. Ian also had a night owl tryout. Really? Ugh. Yeah. No, thanks. I just don't see him playing action hero kind of people. I really don't. Yeah. He would have made a great Alfred, like I said. He would have made a fantastic Alfred, but not a good Bruce Wayne at all. But we're not talking about Titans, we're talking about Harley Quinn. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them getting the crew together, with King Shark, Cyborgman, um, Scarecrow, and a couple of others, of course. So we'll see what happens there. Should be nice. And I predict the show will be more fun than the coming live action movie. I don't know, Penn. The live action movie could be good. We don't know for sure. How many episodes is it? Let me take a look. Da-da-da. Excuse me. Episode season one. And I have. Oh, that's right. They're only dropping 6 episodes for the first season. Um, and I believe they're going to drop half, and then they're going to drop the other half at some other point in time, is what they're doing. It's something weird like that. I remember hearing about that. Birds of Prey got a hard R. I read it somewhere. Huh. Okay. I'm hoping the movie will be good, but I don't know if it'll be as fun. It's all told from Harley's point of view, Penn, so it's gonna be very skewed towards the ridiculous. So I have a feeling that that will be interesting and hopefully fun. But yeah, this is plain up, straight up fun too. And do you think Margot will nail the role? Yeah, I think she's fine in the role. I think she'll do okay. I did like how they showed Harley deluding herself in this series as well, in this animated series, where she thought that Joker and her were dancing up on the roof and with violin players and everything, and that he proposed to her and gave her a ring. When really it was him, with the henchman up on the roof. She had handcuffs on, and he gave her a grenade, and he had pulled the ring out of the grenade, and he had told Batman that is Till Death Do Us part, and that's when she realizes that he loves Batman is really who he loves, nobody else. And yeah, that kind of realization. I mean, sure, we've seen it before in the comics, but this was actually pretty good. They did a really good job of portraying it here. I think they did an excellent job actually of doing that here. And then having her come in with the other outfit, to get rid of his outfit that he had, the whole leotard thing. Although I'm not a fan of the skimpy outfit. I'm really not. It just I don't know. The skimpy outfit thing just yeah, whatever it is. So, with that said, I'm definitely looking forward to the next couple episodes that are coming up. I guess we're getting 6 episodes, is what it is, and I'll just be covering them once a week. Is what I'll do. Same thing. Still on the fence. I'm probably going to do it after the Mandalorian on Fridays. Since I do the Mandalorian usually on Friday nights, I'm probably going to do Harley right afterwards. Is what I'll do. Something like that. So with that said, what else have I got going on? Tomorrow is going to be Saturday morning blast off, where I take the genre news of the week, talk about that, and any of the genre stuff you guys want to talk about. Sunday is going to be another double header. It's going to be Mr. Robot, and then of course Watchmen. Monday is His Dark Materials. Going to be doing that. Friday, like we said, we swing back around to Friday with the Mandalorian and Harley Quinn. Yeah, I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. Kind of nice. So, and we're gonna have the Expanse coming up here fairly soon. Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it, Penn. 3 live streams in one day. That's, you know, quite a bit for me. I took a nap in between and all that stuff. And yeah, got something to eat, all that good stuff. Anyway, so yeah, as Penn just put up there, check out the schedule on suspendedfanimation.com. Until then, I will see you tomorrow for Saturday Morning Blast Off. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you, everyone who joined me tonight in the chat. And thank you if you made it this far in the video. And if you're still on the fence about joining up, you're going to see a video pop up here. Basically, what YouTube does, it takes the algorithm of all the stuff you've been watching, and then it tries to match one of the videos in my vast video library to that algorithm and pop it up there just for you. Up here is going to be Titans. I'm going to put Titans up there for you guys to watch. And if you like any of those, you can hit the subscribe button down here. So yeah, and hit the like button before you leave. There we go. Thank you, everybody. And like I said, I will see you tomorrow for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, because otherwise, you may find a stash of a whole bunch of Joker bombs and put them to good use, and the way Harley did. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.